He was no stranger to chaos. Sirens echoed through the streets of East L.A. like a soundtrack. The walls of his apartment were thin, and the future felt even thinner. His life was survival, plain and simple. No safety net, no guarantees, just one day at a time. He lost his mother at a young age. His father was rarely around. That absence left him drifting through foster care, bouncing from home to home, always packing light because nothing ever felt permanent.
Twist, twist, twist of fate radio.
Some nights he didn't even know where he'd sleep. What he did know, though, was music. Music gave him identity, purpose, and a sense of control in a world that offered him none. But in the halls of his rough city school, even that passion had limits. Until one day, fate cracked open a door. He made an unexpected friend. This boy didn't live in an apartment where roaches came free with the rent. He lived in Beverly Hills, wide lawns, long driveways, quiet streets, a place where people had options. They bonded over music, over dreams, over being kids, really, before the world told them who they were supposed to be. One afternoon, his new friend invited him over. That invitation turned into dinner, then more visits, and eventually something that would seem impossible to most, a permanent place in the family's home. That's right, a wealthy white family, Jewish, generous, and music industry connected, welcomed the Afro-Latino teen from East L.A. into their lives. They gave him a room, but more than that, they gave him stability. Still, it wasn't exactly a fairy tale. Now enrolled at Beverly Hills High School, he felt like a stranger in his own shoes. Every day he walked through corridors lined with privilege, designer clothes, imported cars, SAT tutors, and Malibu beach parties. He stood out, and he knew it. He was sharp, confident, and talented, but he couldn't erase the invisible line drawn by culture, class, and skin color. He once said, "I was the fly in the buttermilk." But instead of breaking under that tension, he used it. He learned how to walk in both worlds. He became a translator between them, never fully belonging in either, but understanding both better than most. And through it all, he held on to music. That passion took him further than anyone expected. After high school, he got his foot in the door of the music business, not as a performer, but behind the scenes, writing, producing, discovering talent. He joined Warner Brothers Records and helped guide the careers of future icons, Madonna, Prince, Jennifer Lopez, to name a few. But somewhere in the climb, he kept thinking about that unlikely invitation, the one that changed everything. What if his story wasn't just personal? What if others could relate to that culture clash, that fish-out-of-water feeling? The pressure of trying to succeed in a world you were never meant to enter. So he pitched it, a sitcom based on his real life. He brought the idea to Quincy Jones, the legendary producer who instantly saw the potential. Together, they shaped it into a series about a young man from a tough neighborhood who goes to live with wealthy relatives in a ritzy part of town. Starting to feel familiar? But they still needed one more piece, the right lead. That's when they turned to a young, charismatic rapper with no acting experience but a smile made for television and a natural sense of humor. His name? Will Smith, of course. When The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air premiered in 1990, audiences thought they were watching a comedy. But beneath the jokes and dance moves, it was really a true story. A boy from East L.A. taken in by a family from Beverly Hills. A culture clash turned into a cultural moment. The show ran for 6 seasons. It launched a superstar career, and it became a generational icon. And it all started with one twist of fate. An invitation. You may never have heard his name, but the real story behind The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air belonged to Benny Medina. This has been Twist of Fate Radio. I'm Angela Clark. Until next time, remember, sometimes the smallest choices lead to the biggest consequences. Want to explore more stories like this? Visit twistoffateradio.com. There you can read more details about this story and others like it. Plus, you can submit your own Twist of Fate story to be considered for a future episode. You never know what twist of fate is coming next.